item 7.07, Trustee Gomez.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch base regarding the professional service agreement for $41,500 for the RSS consulting. I do realize that we need a board retreat next year. We generally do have consultants. What I wanted to recommend or motion would be if we could have multiple consultants, and that way our exec committee can have the authority to, out of those 2, 3, 4 consultants, to recommend the best consultant for us to move forward. And that was just my motion. And I know we've had several consultants throughout my career, and if RSS is the best way to move forward, then I will take that. But I just wanted for us to have options for the following year.
Trustee Gomez, and just to, for the good of the group, we did do a request for proposal, have a number of those consultants that have been reviewed, and if I'm understanding your questions, make sure that consultants moving forward, similar to the other item below that, bringing those into the board for the next year, correct?
Well, then maybe I should get an understanding as to what this agreement is for and for what time frame, since it's not on there. Because I know, I believe we approved this one item, was it like in March? For RSS Consulting to be our consultant for the retreat, or I can't remember the timeline, so I wasn't sure what this portion of it was going to be. Because here it says she's going to lead the board retreat.
Right, this is for this upcoming academic year, and this is usually the time we bring those consultants to the board for their approval.
Okay, so I would be talking about this current year then.
Correct, the retreat that we'll have in April or May of this year.
Okay, so then I don't mean next year, I mean this year.
Okay.
Sorry.
So what is the action you'd like to take on this one?
Sorry, too many words. So I'd like to motion that we have multiple consultants and for our exec team to consult with one another and to then bring it back to the board and let us know which consultant they have chosen, because it is a board evaluation and chancery evaluation, and I feel it's important to have options for that. And that would be for maybe even in October if we need to bring this back.
Yeah, we could pull that particular item. I'm looking at the attorneys to make sure that's correct. We could pull that. There's also, in listening to the caller, there was a couple of other ones that I'd like to pull if I could as well.
To clarify, are we pulling to table then?
Yes,
Okay.
table.
Okay.
So shall we go through those? Let's look. There was, go through. Trustee Gomez, the item that you were looking at, do you know what the actual number was as I'm going through this?
It is C25921, I guess, item 21.
Yes, that I showed that as well.
And keeping in that same vein, I think we should probably also pull C2509 2022, which is also professional services agreement, working with the board on that too. So we'll just could pull both. And then there was a caller on the phone asking about the independent contractor agreement regarding about potential conflict with CSEA work. And if I'm doing a quick look here, just to be able to pull and table and then be able to get more information, that would be C250911, C250912. And my notes, I think that was it. Let me look here.
20. Chancellor, I think 20 as well.
C250920, yes, with Jason Mendez for additional assistance for Clovis. Yes, let's table those.
And what about item 13 as well? It's printed signs and posters at Clovis Community College.
We could certainly table that.
That amount is so small.
And this falls in line with, is this what the public commenter was referencing?
I didn't hear that one, but in keeping with everything else, we could certainly table it and take a look at it.
Well, my concern is the impact of Clovis Community College. These all affect Clovis Community College and their area that handles marketing. This really, I think, is going to put them in a bind,
Yes, it probably will.
unless it comes back immediately, like next month.
Can we get
That's a
them back next
concern I
month? Do you
have.
think that's,
I definitely think we could bring them back next month, and I'll provide an additional memo to the board to be able to provide background documents on the standard operating procedures that we've used to be able to move forward with these.
so it looks like we're tabling items 11, 12, 13, 21, 22, and 20. Is that correct? Okay. All right, trustee Fuentes, I see your mic's on.
I just wanted to check with council. Are we okay just pulling it without a motion, or do we need a motion to?
No, we will need to have a motion and a second to table these items. I think I just saw it as the discussion of which specific items. So let me review them all to make sure that I'm in concurrence with the board's intentions. And then, Madam President, you will need to call for a motion and a second in order to have those pulled. And then we can move forward. So with the rest of the items to have them approved. So we need to, I'd say that there be a motion to pull item 11, 12, 13, 20, 21, and 22.
Can I ask a point of clarification? For those items that are pulled, do we have to identify when they will be heard again?
You can include that in your motion if you would like to do so.
Otherwise, if we don't, they'll have to be renoticed. Is that?
They would show up again on an agenda in the future, depending on the circumstances, because you might review them based on our research and decide that that's not the appropriate way to go, and then would have other items that would come before you at a later date.
Thanks.
Trustee Akita, do you have a comment? Or trustee Johnson, before we make a motion?
Yeah, I just wanted to have some clarification about the positions that these would likely be and what obviously it's before us to have these be consultants and not positions. And so I was wondering if those positions have been stalled. I didn't see them online as available, so I could totally see that these consulting would be, interim until we have somebody. And so I just wanted to know if we could hear the plan, because I think that would actually help with us on the.
We can definitely give you more information. It's been my experience, and not having going into each of these specifically, but I have seen independent contractor agreements be used for a short time period to be able to help augment services that doesn't warrant a full new position. So they're specifically project-based. That's what most of these are. But we can give you more information and provide that to the board, and then it'll be your decision on how you want to impact the work that's being done or not.
Okay, before I make a motion, are there any comments?
Yes.
Okay. Trustee Akita.
The other concern I have on the consulting agreement for the board evaluation, I do like the consistency of using the same tool and therefore the same consultant. Now, if you want to change next year, like 26, 27, and go out with an RFP, fine, but I don't like changing midstream like this. We've only been with her, what, twice?
Yeah,
So this would be the third time, and seems to me it's a little early to be switching everything until we we build some consistency with our evaluation process for our board.
Is there any other discussion?
Yes, I just had one more question for council. Since trustee Gomez already made a motion, I assume she would have to either amend it or withdraw it and then a new motion be made?
There was never a second on that, so while she made a motion, it would fall flat if there was no second. Or if you want to, she can pull it, she can do what you've said, or it can just fall flat with a new motion. But
All right, are you right with that?
Well, I'm still going to do the same motion for the item that I approved. If someone wants to make a second for the other ones, I'm sorry, I make a first for the other ones, that is fine. To trustee Akeda's point, I've been on this board for a couple of years, just as you have, and it hasn't been a problem swapping consultants. When I came on, we had one individual, and now we have a second individual, and I just think that, I'm not saying that we shouldn't go with RSS Consulting, I'm just saying we should just have options and that our exec team should take a look at it, and that's pretty much it.
Is that gonna allow us to use the same tool, though? Or, I hate to switch the evaluation tool midstream, too. That concerns me.
Well, the tool would be with the exec team to develop with the new consultant, or talk about it with RSS Consulting as to, what more do we need for it? But I'm not in leadership, so I don't get to do that.
And maybe just a little context, just for the board. So the exec team, I believe, or I know 3 trustees, I'm not sure if it was exec or a special ad hoc, did meet with that particular consultant to be able to fine tune and create the evaluation tool that is being used. And also the request for proposals, that information was also shared with the board. And we still can table this and move forward, and I can provide lots more information with all of you individually, together, or in a board memo. That's not a problem. It's taking a pause is never a bad thing, in my opinion. Now, if we do some radical changes, then we may have some issues. But taking a beat, not a bad thing.
Trustee Johnson, do you have a comment?
Yeah, Chancellor Goldsmith mentioned, we did have a committee that created the tool. And so I wouldn't want to go against the committee and the approval of that in order to change out the consultant at this time. But I think we can look over all of that at a later date.
We'll look at that when Chancellor Goldsmith gets that to us. All right, I'm happy to make a motion. I have it listed.
So I think trustee Gomez kept her motion, so I just wanted to second it. And then if you would like to make another motion with the other items, that's fine. But I'll second trustee Gomez's.
Understood. Okay. So we have a motion to table contract.
Actually, the motion is to table the 2 consultant contracts, one for RSS Consultants and the other one for PPL. And then there's items 11, 12, and 20. Is that correct, council?
Trustee Gomez has a motion to table only item 21 right now.
My apologies.
Yeah.
there can be an amended motion, though, based on what just transpired. Because you've got a first and a second, and you can amend or call for a vote.
Okay, I will amend for 921 and 922 to be tabled for further discussion.
There's 4 more.
The other items was going back to the speaker, talking about the CSEA possible conflict for those small contracts, but that was not trustee Gomez's comment. That was,
Okay,
That
can
was
we do
done.
2 motions then? And then,
Yes, you can do 2 motions.
okay, so we'll do 21 and 22 right now, and then trustee Fuentes has a second.
I'll second.
Great. Ms. Ferry, can you please do a roll call vote?
Student trustee Reyes?
Can I abstain?
You may. Trustee Yule?
Yes.
Trustee Fuentes?
Yes.
Trustee Gomez?
Yes.
Trustee Ikeda?
No.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez?
Yes.
And trustee Parra?
Yes.
6 yeses, 1 no, the motion carries.
And then I will do the second motion to table contract agreements 11, 12, 13, and 20. Trustee Rodriguez?
I'll second.
All right, Ms. Berry, can we please do a roll call vote?
Student trustee Reyes,
I'll abstain.
trustee Yule,
Yes.
trustee Fuentes,
Yes.
trustee Gomez,
Yes.
trustee Ikeda,
No.
trustee Johnson,
No.
trustee Rodriguez,
Yes.
and trustee Para.
Yes.
5 yeses, 2 nos, the motion carries.